I was actually, oh my God, story time. Okay. I was actually at my very first job, which was, it was the dining hall at my college. I had to get a job, and that was the one that I got, and it was easy to do whatever. But that was my first job, and there was this dude. He ain't gonna see this video. His name was Ant. I'll call him Ant. Okay. So Ant and I, or whatever, we kind of hit it off. We were cool, whatnot. He was an older dude, and when I say older, like mind you, I was 18, and he was probably about 48, probably 52. You know what I mean? So there you go. But and whatever. I'm not even gonna give any other details. But we were talking or whatever. We kind of bonded. He ha ha kiki kiki ha whatever, right? So we're hanging out. It's at work. It's a work relationship that you got. So it started getting weird because I remember one time he was mentioning how he had his son or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, I would, are you single?" Da da. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm single." I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Well, I would like it if, like, my son, he's single, and he's a nice guy, da da." He was like, "I would like it if, you and him could talk. You seem like a really nice girl and everything, da da." And I was like, "Oh, cool, nice, all right." And he showed me a picture of him, and I was like, "Oh, okay, he good looking." I was like, "Okay, you made a good looking kid, okay." So he was supposed to come to the dining hall, and I had to work, so it's not like I was just going to be lurking around. I had to work, and he was supposed to just like come up, and he never came up at all. I was like, "Okay, you said this is going to happen at this time." And I don't think the guy worked, and I don't think he worked that day, but because I don't remember seeing him. But I was like, "Okay." And then it was like the next day, and then I was like, "Yo, you said your son's supposed to be here, what happened?" Right? I was like, "What happened? I thought you said he was going to be here or whatever." And then he was like, "Oh, he couldn't make it, da da." And his son was in music rapping, okay, son. And he was in music rapping and doing all that. So I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then he was like, "Well, since my son didn't come or whatever, he was like, could I get like your do you have like Facebook or whatever, da da?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got Facebook." I was like, "Yeah, I'll add you as a friend on there." So then we would talk, we would message back and forth like, "Hey, how you doing, da 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 da?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine, whatever," right? So I remember one day he messages me, and mind you, I'm like doing my, I think I'm either doing my homework or I'm watching my TV. No, I was watching TV because I already finished my homework, and it was like 10, right, at night, PM. So I'm like watching TV or something, and he then messages me, and he's like, "Oh, he was like, there's a music video thing shoot going on." He's like, "There's expensive cars and this and that and da da da." And he was like, "Would you do you want to come?" He's like, "I could go and pick you up, da da." And I was like, 10 at night, music videos with some random people in fancy cars and whatever. I was like, I got homework to do. I was like, I got homework to do. I was like, I'm busy. I got other things to do, whatever, whatever, right? So he's like, "Oh, okay, whatever, yeah, it would have been cool if you would come." I was like, "Yeah, I'm busy," right? So, and I'll get back into that. But there was another time I was at the job or whatever, and we were talking about something, and he was talking about how that he's seen the videos, like FBI people, whatever. And I'm standing there, and he starts literally in the dining hall, y'all. But we had like this little area where you could wash your hands and wash the dishes or whatever, just rinse some things off. And we were in this little enclosed area, but it wasn't like they had doors, you know what I mean? But you just can't see 100%. And he started like patting me down, right? And I'm like, and I felt like real uncomfortable because I'm like, I, because I was just taken aback, like, what? What are you doing, dude? So he's over here patting me down and everything, and I'm just like, and then after that, I was like, okay, this dude, something ain't right. And I remember I retold this story to my boyfriend, and he was like, it's a very good idea that you did not go. That's one of those things, trust your gut. And he was like, it's one of those things where I'm happy that you didn't go, because you probably wouldn't have made it back. Because, that's what they do to women as well. The thing that made me not go is, one, I don't know you. And two, I'm not like a lot of these other chicks. You know what I mean? And this is no shade to anybody. It just is what it is. I'm not wild by name brand anything, really. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's just another pair of whatever. Now, the only name brand stuff I really, really like are my Adidas, just because they make really good clothing. But everything else, I'm like, I shop at Old Navy, I shop at all these other kind of places. I don't really care about the name brand, and I'm not a car person at all. Okay. Okay. So for me, you over here saying, oh man, we got nice cars. What does that mean? What does that mean to me? Because the first thing I'm thinking of, it ain't just, rapping, some drug money going on. And I'm not trying to get involved in any of that. So that's what I was thinking. But you have a lot of people out here who do prey on you. And they're like, ooh, but they're going to have Chanel bags over there and Louis Vuitton. Ooh, yes. And I could get my red bottoms. And I could be buying a nice Ferrari. Yeah, let me go. And then you're on the news saying we can't find you. No. Hey, I greatly appreciate if you could support me. Simply go to ebay.com. In the search bar, type in Latrice Limited, click on shops, and then support me. I have a wide variety of items on there, many of my own personal Latrice Limited items, such as candles, bath bombs, soaps, essential oil blends, lingerie, robes, so much stuff. I even have men's ties and comic books on there. Definitely support me, and do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.